Introduce.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Ledger Support here. I'm Tim from Ledger Support, and today we have a very special guest. We have Garrett here with us.
How you doing?
And so we're going to be going through and just answering all your guys' questions. It looks like there's already a bunch in the chat, so we'll just start at the top and work our way down. If you are just getting here and if you do have a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and we will just loop around to it as soon as we get to it. All right, cool. So it looks like we have the first question from Lincoln Continental. Is you're saying, I'm wondering, with millions of passphrases being in use, isn't it possible that someone can stumble on a passphrase that holds assets if they keep trying different combinations of words? That's a really good question.
It is.
Yeah. So basically, the short answer is there's so many different possibilities that it's impossible. It's never going to happen. So with a 24-word recovery phrase and a total amount of 2,048 total possible words, you get 24 to the power of 2,048 2,048 to the power of 24 total possible combinations, which comes out to be a number that most calculators can't even calculate. So while it is technically possible that a recovery phrase can be used more than once, it's pretty much impossible. It's not going to happen.
Definitely impossible.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's see what the next question is, shall we? Yeah. So we have one here that's saying, I still didn't get a reply back in regards to my ledger showing device not charging. I literally tried everything. So in that case, I'm assuming that you're having a battery issue with your Nano X device. I would for that issue, I would definitely say to reach out to our ledger support, and then we'll have somebody help you right away on that issue. We'll probably send you a troubleshooting article for you to try out to see if you can troubleshoot it on your own. And if not, then just feel free to email us back and we'll help you with that issue right away.
Yep. Do you want me to tackle this one?
You can do that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm not going to try to pronounce your name because I'm going to butcher it. But we have a good question here. It says, can Ledger recover access to passphrase and the temporary passphrase too? Thanks. And that's a really good question. Ledger Recover does not support passphrases. And so while you can use Ledger Recover to back up your 24-word seed phrase, there would still be no way for it to know any passphrase associated with that account. So that's actually one tactic that can be used to back up your seed phrase, but still keep all of your assets in your own secure accounts that no one but you has access. Yeah.
Hey, that's a great explanation, Tim.
Thanks, man.
Okay. So we have here from Sandra Gray says, my friend in the US gets unknown error constantly when trying to swap XRP for XLM. Any ideas? And honestly, yeah, there's a bunch of different scenarios that could be happening in that situation. If the two accounts aren't tied to the same recovery phrase, you'll get an error message. If you're trying to swap too much XRP, for instance, if you're trying to swap the max amount of XRP, you'll definitely get an error message. So truthfully, for that case, I would just say to have your friend reach out to us via Ledger support, and then they'll have to send us the error message, take a screenshot of it, or even just write it out quote by quote, and then we'll try to help them based off of that. But we would definitely have to know the error message in order for us to help them.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, so it looks like mass-produced madness has a question here. You're saying, my biggest question besides the obvious one stacks is, now that ThorSwap is included in Ledger's Discover section, do we have a timeline on Rune LP management in Ledger Live? That's a good question. Let me see. Let me take a look. Rune in. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, let's take a look in Ledger Live here real quick and see if there is already a Nano app. I don't believe there is.
No, I don't believe so. Last time I checked, there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
But let's check again. That was
okay.
A couple months ago.
Okay. Nothing opened. Let's go here to my Ledger tab. Oh yeah. So there is Thorchain. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Let's see where this leads us. Okay, and that brings us to this. I'm gonna have to put it up there. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me throw this up here. Okay, let's see here what this is saying. Okay. All right. Okay, so install the Thorchain app, and then it looks like you can connect directly to the ThorSwap web app using the Thorchain app. So we can go ahead and do that real quick because there's not a lot of questions right now. So let's just go through this.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. Oh, and I already have it installed. Cool. So I'll go ahead and get out of the My Ledger tab. Do you see it? Oh yeah.
Thorchain's right here. Yeah. I'll click it right now, or we'll have to close Ledger Live first.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea actually.
Yeah. So we always close Ledger Live because if you have Ledger Live open and you're trying to connect to another third-party wallet, it'll more than likely it'll interfere with the connection. So you'll try to like connect. For instance, we're connecting to what is it called?
ThorSwap web app.
The ThorSwap web app. It won't allow your Nano device to connect to it if Ledger Live is open because your Nano device will be connected to Ledger Live.
Excellent point. Excellent point. All right, let's go here. We'll connect. So we're gonna connect Ledger. Make sure your Ledger is unlocked. Ooh,
I opened the ThorSwap app just now.
All right. Go ahead and do that. So it looks like it's not finding it. Let's try again.
Disconnect.
Ooh. Yeah, actually, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, I'll throw that in. And it does see, so if you notice here on the Nano screen, it says pending Ledger review. So that means that this Nano app is still in beta and it's still in review. So it may be a little glitchy getting connected. So hopefully we can get connected though. Let's see if we can get that going. Okay. Try again here. Connect directly with Ledger. Yeah, so we're good to go. Yeah, it looks like it's just not detecting it. All right, so let's try something else. So we can go here to chainlist.org. Let's open up MetaMask real quick and see if we can add to account. Okay. Oops. It doesn't look like it's on. I wasn't sure if it was an ERC20 or I'm sorry, a EVM network or not. Okay.
I think you should just Google it. Let's try Googling
Okay, cool.
it. Maybe it's not on. You're trying to find the
Thorchain. But yeah, so it looks like it is its own. So I thought that you could add it to MetaMask, but maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. All right, so in this case, it looks like the Nano app is still under review, and so it may or may not work. But the good news is that because there is a Nano app and it is being worked on, that means that the developers of Thorchain are already in contact with our developers, and they are already working to build this app. So that definitely confirms that this is in works, in progress, and hopefully we have things up and running soon.
hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. All right, cool. Let me reopen Ledger Live here. Likely. Cool. Good to go. All right, let's go back here. So that was. Oh. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay,
one.
so we have a really good question because we have these cases coming in almost every single day. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, but it starts with like CLN, and then it says the question is how to remove all these NFT scam airdrop that I have hidden in my Ledger Live app. I have like 35 of these fake scams. I have a Nano S Plus. Okay, so first I'll explain to you how to remove the NFT scams. It's very simple, honestly. You'll go to your crypto account. and then you'll click on the actual NFT token, and then you'll want to like double click with your mouse, depending on if you're using your on Ledger Live mobile or Ledger Live desktop, and then you'll see like a hide token option, and then you just click hide token. And that's basically the safest thing that you could possibly do. You do not want to interact with the smart contract in any way, and an interaction will basically be just sending the NFT out of your Ledger wallet. Most people try to do that, and then that's how they get scammed. And because once you do that, you're allowed. What's written sometimes in a smart contract, they'll have like, for instance, let's say your Polygon account, right? If you sign a smart contract, with that within that Polygon token, then you're giving a scammer access to that Polygon account. So that's the most thing that's definitely something you do not want to do. And as you just see, Tim just showed you how to actually hide the token.
Yeah.
You want to go through that process again,
Yeah.
just in case they weren't paying attention?
Definitely. So yeah, as Garrett mentioned, Polygon is a very common blockchain that you see these scam tokens on, scam NFTs, and that's because network fees are so low on Polygon, and so scammers can afford to send them these fake scam NFTs out. Whereas on ETH, it would cost them a lot of money. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of scam NFTs. This is my Polygon wallet right here. And I keep them here just to be able to show people in streams what to do. So yeah, I can click on this one right here. And then you can click on these three dots right here, and you can hide the NFT collection. And then that will essentially remove it from your portfolio in Ledger Live. It still exists in your wallet, and there's currently no good way to like really deal with that other than hiding it. But I always like to think of these as like spam and spam emails.
Right.
It's Web3's version of spam emails. They're trying to get you to go to this website or interact with this thing in order to try to scam you. There's nothing these can do to you if they're just in your wallet. Like they can't like airdropping you this NFT doesn't give them the ability to access your wallet in any way. It would require some mistake on the user in order for that to happen. So it really is best just to hide them or pretend like they don't exist. And in the future, there will probably be better tools.
Yeah, I think so as well. Me personally, I just leave them alone. I don't even hide them because I mean, I just know not to interact with them. So
Yeah.
it just depends on what would prefer, what you would actually prefer. Like if you would prefer to hide them, or if you don't care, like how you just have them there and it's you just know that they're scam NFTs, and it's really a personal preference, honestly.
Yep.
So let's see what the next question is, shall we?
All right. At CoinStats Portfolio Tracker and would like some help on guidance on how to add your Ledger account. So I'm not too familiar with CoinStats Portfolio Tracker. Let's see, let's look it up. Are you familiar with that? CoinStats Portfolio Tracker?
I am not familiar with CoinStats at all. I just personally use Ledger Live to track all my stuff.
Same. Ledger Live, and I also have a portfolio in my CoinGecko, which is pretty nice. CoinMarketCap also.
Yeah, I like CoinMarketCap.
Yeah.
I've heard of CoinStats though. I've heard of it, but never used it.
Now, CoinStats.app.
Yeah. I believe they have a mobile app as well.
Okay, cool. So you can just connect your wallet. So it looks like you can connect Coinbase wallet, MetaMask, and Binance. So it's an EVM thing. Let's see. So yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's connect.
Oh, it has a connect other option.
Oh, it does.
Well. Yeah, let's see if they have it. There's Ledger Wallet right there.
Oh, what?
To the right.
This is cool. All right. So okay, cool. So yeah, so it looks like yeah, so you can go. Let's see. Let's try this out. So let's go Bitcoin and and not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's
Right.
with the UTXOs. I don't want to add the XPub.
You like XRP?
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, XRP.
Let's do XRP.
And then we can go here to Ledger Live. I'll show you what I'm doing real quick. Go to this XRP account that we got here, and I'm going to generate the receive address. I'll just click, and then I'll copy that if it me. There we go. And then we can go here, paste in the address, and see what happens.
Didn't happen?
No,
Did the address actually paste or no?
I think so.
Yeah,
Looks like the field just grayed out.
Yeah.
Let's see, let's maybe we actually have to like search. Try. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like it's kind of glitched out.
Yeah, it seems like it's
Yeah.
the issue with CoinStats, if anything, on their website.
It even tells how to get the XPub. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so right here it's telling how to get the XPub for like a Bitcoin account. For reference, to do that, you would just go here. Open up Bitcoin, the little wrench icon up here, and then click on the advanced drop down. And this right here is your XPub address that you can see right here on the screen, this big long string. This is your master public key for Bitcoin. So this is what you would have to use if you were adding a Bitcoin account. But for some reason, CoinStats is having trouble seeing this. Let's see. Yeah, it's just not letting us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can go back.
Try the MetaMask way.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's try with MetaMask.
that's what I would probably recommend. It just depends on what account you have. Obviously, if you have like an Ethereum or a EVM account, then you could just connect via MetaMask. But ideally, you would want to just connect with your Ledger device to CoinStats. That would probably make it much easier.
Yeah. That's 75%, 100%. Okay, cool. Let's see my analytics.
Oh, connected. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it's got all the stuff from my ETH account. Looks like it's even picking up stuff on Arbitrum,
Arbitrum,
Polygon. This is cool. This is definitely a cool tracking wallet. Yeah, if we can figure out how to get like Bitcoin and all the other chains to work, then this could be definitely a really cool tool. I haven't used this yet.
No, I haven't either. I would say a recommendation. I would say to reach out to like CoinStats support and ask and tell them that you're having trouble actually connecting your Ledger account to their website, because the build
Definitely.
is just not allowing us to type anything in there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go to another question here. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Nancy, I see you said I downloaded the Stellar app and I'm trying to open a Stellar account and it doesn't open. I am updated and followed all the steps, but still no luck. Help.
Okay.
What do you think it could possibly be right here, Tim?
Off the top of my head, like either something's out of date, most
Right.
likely. Yeah, it would really depend on what kind of like error message you're getting. But just to do our due diligence here, let's go ahead and add an XLM account, Ledger Live. Oop, I don't do that.
Yeah, if you have the Stellar account added to Ledger Live, should definitely open. But I guess we would have to I would need more context to
Yeah.
what is actually the problem, because I'm not really understanding what you mean by it's not opening.
Yeah. It gets a little glitchy sometimes when I'm streaming all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty hard on this poor little computer, but we do it anyway. All right, cool. So we got this XLM account. I don't have any XLM tied to this Nano. We can go to receive here. And then, so it looks like it's pretty much working correctly on our end. So for you, Nancy, I would say definitely make sure that you have the most up-to-date version of Ledger Live. So it kind of works in this order. Basically, your Nano apps that are available to you and the latest update are going to be based on whatever firmware version you have installed on your Nano. And so if your firmware version is outdated on your Nano, then that means that you will not have access. It won't even show you if there are Nano apps available, because they're not available for that firmware. However, if your Ledger Live is out of date, then it won't be able to tell you if you have a firmware update. So it kind of all starts with the Ledger Live application. So first you want to make sure you're on the most up-to-date version of Ledger Live, which if you go up here to this little, 2.64, I think.
0.2, yes.
Yeah, 0.2. If you go up here to this little gear icon and you go to About, you can see it right there, 2.64.2. If you're on an earlier version than that, definitely get that updated and then subsequently update your firmware, and then you should have the most up-to-date Nano app. And that probably should get you going.
Yeah, and also I think a key thing to point out too as well, if you're on like sometimes users on like really old versions of Ledger Lives, they'll get like the orange banner to update it, and then a click update, and then it's installing, but it actually doesn't fully install the update because it's just a really old version of Ledger Live, so just malfunctions. So after you do your update and you install, I would just definitely go verify and check to make sure that you're actually on Ledger Live 2.64.2.
Yeah.
And then you do that by going to settings and then About, and see the version right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent point. And if you definitely are fully updated, then reach out to us. Like there could be an issue. So basically, where we'd go with that, see with the seller account, we'd really want to see the specific error.
Yeah.
We'd be very interested in that. So if you do open up a support ticket at support.ledger.com, like if everything's up to date and still not working, try to take a screenshot, try to access your account and get it to throw that error message and then take a screenshot of that and include that in your initial write-up.
Yep.
Be very helpful for us.
So Brooklyn State of Mind, they basically this just relates back to their Nano X problem with their battery issue. You're basically worried about like your warranty being up. Since you already reached out to us 2 days ago, you'll be completely fine as long as you reached out to us 2 days ago and your warranty wasn't up anymore. So no worries on that. We'll have somebody reach out to you. And honestly, if you want, could you actually type in the chat your case ID number, and we'll have somebody reach out to you ASAP.
Yeah, we can get with you right after this stream.
Oh, fix. Actually, fix it. Okay,
oh, sweet.
Well, look at that.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Right.
All right, well, let us know if you have any more issues. Good work, Garrett.
Right. Here we go now.
All right. Oh. Yeah. All right. Joseph, Tim, I bought a Nano S Plus a year ago and haven't opened it yet. Does Nano S Plus have a device activation expiry date? Like it needs to be activated within a certain period of time to use? No, the Nano S Plus is, so the only time you'd really have an issue with that is if you had the Nano S, the original device, and it was super, super old and it was on like a very old firmware update, like for instance, version 1.2 or below specifically. And if that's the case, then it would no longer be able to be updated. But there's no issues like that with the Nano S Plus. All firmware versions are fully supported. And in either case, if you ever did run into that issue, we would provide you with a replacement. If it was a firmware related issue like that, so you'd be able to reach out to us. But to answer your question directly, no, the Nano S Plus will be good for a very long time, even on an older firmware version.
Okay, so Timothy Harris says NFTs. I have NFTs from a few memberships and use MetaMask. If I transfer them onto Ledger Live, will it still verify my membership and level on MetaMask? So no, because you're transferring accounts, right? So in that, it depends, right? If you have your Ledger device connected to MetaMask and the NFT is on there, but for this question, I'm assuming that your NFTs are stored in a different account address. So no, in that case, you would definitely have to verify your status. I'm assuming it's like Discord or Collabland or something like that. You would have to verify your status again. So say you transfer your NFT asset from MetaMask to your Ledger account, then you would have to connect your Ledger account to that third-party wallet where you're verifying your status for that NFT connection. That's what you would do for that case, Timothy.
What one cool thing though about MetaMask is that you can connect your Ledger account directly to it, so you can move your NFTs and all your the assets you want to safeguard on cold storage. You can move those like straight up, send them directly to your account in Ledger Live. And as you can see, sorry, we're a little glitchy here. As you can see, this account right here, this ETH account, is actually the exact same ETH account that shows up right here in my MetaMask. And so basically to do that, you would go to here, and then you go to hardware wallet, and then we're gonna have to open up the ETH app here. You want to find that?
Yep.
There's a lot of Nano apps on there. Good luck.
Right. Probably go back for.
Oh, I think there it is.
Pass it.
Here
we
it
go.
is. Sweet.
Open.
So then you can click on Connect Hardware Wallet, and you can just import that account right back into MetaMask. So you can still manage your Ledger account through MetaMask, and you can still connect to anything MetaMask can connect through with your cold storage account. The only difference is you'll still need your Nano to sign transactions, so it's still cold storage. And as you can see, I already have 2 ETH accounts imported. That's why it's grayed out right here. But if you go through this process, you'll see your exact same ETH account, and then you can just select it and unlock it. And then you have access to it, and then you'd be able to manage your NFTs the exact same way you're used to using MetaMask, but with your cold storage device.
Yep, right. Nicely explained, Tim.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Nice. Thanks, Link Continental. We appreciate the kind words, and we're very happy to do this. Yes. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah.
The thing with Linux, and
So let's go. So
yeah.
Antonio asks, so basically saying, can you do a tutorial video on how to install Linux, how to install Ledger Live on Linux?
Yeah.
So,
So basically, with Linux, the only official version of Linux that we do support is Ubuntu version 20.04 or above. And the problem with Linux is there's so many different builds, and there's even builds of Linux that are based off of Ubuntu but are not Ubuntu. They have like differences in the code and how they're set up. And so in some cases, like you can't. So the install for Ledger Live on Linux is really the same as it's going to be on any other operating system. You just go to Live, go to our secure download page, and then you would just choose Linux app, and then you would install it the way you would any other app on a Linux device. And I will say that in most cases, like you will be even if you're not on the officially supported version of Linux, which is Ubuntu 20.04 or above, you'll probably still be able to install Ledger Live. It just won't work good. Like you'll just run into constant connection errors and issues because things aren't lining up and the app wasn't designed to work on these other versions. So that's really kind of like the answer for that is check what version of Linux you have and make sure it's Ubuntu. And I can drop the system requirements here in the chat for you guys. Ledger Live system requirements. That way you can look and see exactly like what's supported and what's not. But I think that would be a pretty interesting video, just doing some stuff on Linux because we haven't really done a whole lot of that.
And Linux computers are definitely the more tricky ones for sure.
Yeah, those are hard cases usually. Yeah, you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Leonardo Pio, you're saying, hi, I have a question about staking ETH with Lido. Is it the same if I stake ETH using the Lido app and Discover, or if I swap ETH and STETH using any app? Do I get daily rewards just by owning STETH? That's a really good question. And the answer is yes. You do not actually have to stake through Lido. You can straight up just swap any of your tokens in your ETH account for STETH on a compatible exchange. Like Uniswap, you can get STETH. You can do it through the Paraswap, the 1inch app, right in Ledger Live, for depending on your region. I believe they're not supported in the US. But you can connect your Ledger to MetaMask and connect it directly to Uniswap and swap that way. So the way liquid staking works is any wallet that holds STETH will automatically receive staking rewards. That's how you automatically opt into the staking with that. And it's called liquid staking because you can move the tokens around from wallet to wallet. And the interesting thing about it, and kind of the confusing thing about it, liquid staking, is that there's no on-chain transaction that's going to tell you that you receive rewards. Your balance will simply just kind of grow over time. And so a lot of people are like, like a year will go by and they'll look at their STETH holdings and they'll be like I don't remember how much of this stuff I had before, and it looks like nothing's changed. Like there's no incoming transactions. I don't see any rewards. But then if you go back a year ago and you look at find the transaction to the amount that you actually swap for, it will have grown in time. And it happens automatically. There's no action needed other than holding the STETH tokens.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have questions about the Ledger Stacks, obviously about when it's actually dropping, and the expected shipping date right now is next month. Is that correct?
I think it's not fully like hashed out yet. So I think what the stacks is all users will receive an email.
Okay.
When the stack's ready to ship out. And basically, the only issue is we're just making sure that we have the most high quality product, and it's going through very rigorous security tests and quality control tests right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No.
Yes,
Oh,
Okay, well, Brooklyn State of Mind. Just feel free to drop the case number in the chat, and we'll reach out to
yeah.
you and help you with that one.
Yep. Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Win-win time. Could you explain again what to do when I click update and it says updating, but it doesn't? Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're on extremely old version of Ledger Live 2.25.1. So what you'll need to do, Tim's gonna drop the link right now, and then you'll just go and depending on what version, what computer you have. So if you have a Windows app or a Mac, and you click install, right? And then as it's installing, you'll click either finish or install or complete. And then it'll ask you to replace the other Ledger Live file that you have. Now you'll want to replace that file. Once that's done, it'll give you the new version of Ledger Live, the latest version of Ledger Live. And then you'll just go check if you actually had that version just to verify. You just want to be safe, right? So open Ledger Live, go to settings, click on about, and then you'll see the version. You should be on 2.64.2. So I hope that works. Just let us know if it works or not, and then we'll help you again. But you should be fine though.
Sure. Oh, yeah, no worries, Timothy. Yeah, you're not being redundant. Yeah, definitely. And you can use both. So like any change you make in like, so if I were to like send assets from the MetaMask account right here, that you can see, it will also reflect in my ETH account here. You're basically accessing the exact same account that exists on the blockchain. You're just like using different applications to do that. And then that's all Ledger Live really is. It gives you a way to manage your tokens and your coins on the blockchain, but it doesn't actually store your coins. That's why you still need your Nano to sign transactions. And that's why you're able to connect and manage your account from all these different sources. And it'll all update in real time.
Oh, there's a question about
yeah.
what about the Ledger debit card US? Tim, you want to answer that one?
Yeah,
as far
for
as
sure.
that one?
Yeah, so we don't really know exactly when it's going to drop. So I assume you're talking about the CL card offered through banks. So the CL card is actually it's signed up for, and we're partnered with banks that you can like manage it for, straight from Ledger Live. But it's actually a third-party custodian that deals with that. And so we're not really sure. We have heard that the next country to drop is the U.S. Per like their latest communications on that. But we're not exactly sure when that will be. We're kind of at the mercy of banks to finish clearing up whatever regulatory things that they have to do. And I'm not sure what kind of hurdles that they're dealing with right now. But I do know that it's being worked on, and hopefully soon, because the CL card is pretty sweet.
Yeah, we're waiting on it too, trust me. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we did answer your question, Joseph, but you may have missed it. Basically, the short answer again is that your Nano S Plus will be just fine. You can let it sit, and it shouldn't have any connection issues or anything if you let it sit for a long time. So, and there's definitely no expiry date on setting it up.
okay, so Leonardo, they're basically asking, as far as the rewards for the ST ETH that they own, is it a percentage of the amount that they own? So and it says, so the more ST ETH I own, the more rewards you receive. And the answer to that question is yes, you're definitely correct. If you own like 32 ETH, then you'll definitely receive way more rewards than somebody that has one ETH stick.
Yep, for sure. Oh,
you scroll down.
Oh yeah,
no,
Joseph, we're not seeing your question. Can you try typing again in the chat and sending it to us? Oh wait, let's see.
I don't see their question. I think we only see your Nano S Plus question,
Yeah.
Joseph. You could just send it again right now, then that would be great. We'll answer it right away. We currently don't have any questions right now, so yeah, have more questions, feel free to shoot us in the chat, and then Well, I mean, we have a lot of time right now, so we'll definitely answer those questions for you
For
guys.
sure. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it looks like we got all the questions. Let's see. Oh, there's a third party device genuine to check. I don't know if I fully understand the question. If you're talking about the genuine check in Ledger Live, that'll be performed on any Nano you connect. So basically, anytime you connect to the My Ledger tab right here, you'll have to go through the genuine check. And we already did it on this. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's asking us to allow the secure connection, and that is your It's kind of hard to get it to focus, right?
Right. Okay.
And then allowing that on your Nano will perform the genuine check. So that's what's happening every time you connect to the My Ledger tab.
Now, if the Ledger device wasn't genuine right here, then we wouldn't be allowed into the My Ledger section of Ledger Live.
Yep. And it would be impossible to install Nano apps and create accounts. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Timothy, you're asking if you would like to upgrade to the Nano X from S Plus. Is it simple? And the answer to that question is yes. It's very simple. You would just simply go buy your Ledger Nano X from our official Ledger shop, right? And then from that point on, you would want to if it depends on what you would want to do personally, right? You would want to transfer your recovery phrase onto your Nano S Plus, and you would do that by restoring the Nano S Plus device with an existing recovery phrase. So, and then could you actually link them the article that shows them how to actually restore your crypto accounts onto a new device? Now, if you wanted to just have another Nano S Plus device and that's separate from your Nano X, or excuse me, a Nano X device that's separate from your Nano S Plus, and you would just simply set it up as a new with a new recovery phrase. But for your case, I'm assuming that you would want to set it up with the same recovery phrase and just have access to both accounts just to upgrade the device.
Yep.
And there we go. We just linked it right there and in the chat section as far as how to restore your Ledger accounts with a recovery phrase.
That's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah. So Joseph, you're worried about because you're saying some people were saying buying Ledger devices from third parties is risky. So we actually have a list of our official resellers. Amazon is one of them. Best Buy is one of them. If you're in the U.S., so we're gonna drop the official list of our resellers right now in the chat, and all of those are trusted by us as they're our official partners. So feel free to definitely buy from them if you're not able to buy from our Ledger shop.
All right. Yeah, and as for like it being risky, I think that there's like a lot of fear that kind of goes around the community sometimes, whenever certain events happen and whatnot. But it's always really important to remember that these devices are designed to not allow tampering. And so if you connect your Ledger to your computer, if there's any change that's been made to it, if any of the hardware has been swapped out, if any of the software has been changed, if anything has been messed with on the device at all, you're going to fail the genuine check. And it's going to be impossible to set up your Nano with Ledger Live. And it's going to tell you to contact us. And we're probably actually going to want that device back so we can study it.
Right. Great point.
And see how the heck someone actually managed to tamper with it, because so far we haven't gotten any confirmed cases of someone actually being able to install third-party software onto a Nano, because that has to be done through the My Ledger tab, and you can't connect to the My Ledger tab without passing the genuine check. So it's like this big loop of have to do this before this, have to do this before that, and it just kind of eliminates that possibility. So like me personally, and this is not advice, because everyone should definitely buy from a trusted source and for your own peace of mind. But personally, if I were to find a Ledger Nano on the ground in a parking lot and I picked it up and plugged it in and was able to pass the genuine check in Ledger Live, I would be comfortable using it because I would know that it was a genuine Ledger device.
Right. Okay, we have a question from Art DRBO. If someone has subscribed to Ledger Recover, can Ledger Recover passphrase as well? Thanks. And also how long Nano S will be in service. I'm having trouble really fully understanding the first question. Do you understand what they're trying to ask? But can Ledger recover passphrase as well?
I think they just mean like the 25th word passphrase.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And for that, it's a no.
No, right,
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be only the 24 words if you choose to use Ledger Recover. And as we mentioned before, like it actually presents a really interesting security upgrade for your accounts. Where you can have your 24 words sharded and backed up, heavily encrypted and backed up to where no one can get access to that, but it's still backed up in a way that you can gain access to it if you lose it. And then, but your crypto can still be on passphrase accounts that's technically not in any of the accounts tied to the 24 recovery phrase. So if anything did happen to the recovery phrase, they still wouldn't have access to your accounts. And you can like have a situation where you can memorize like a single word for your passphrase and have all your crypto in that account, which is much more viable than trying to memorize.
Yeah, I would never try to memorize
I wouldn't
it.
either. To be real talk, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It puts a lot of responsibility on your mind, and if something were to happen, then,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have hobby time with Chris. Can someone view the seed phrase, shut down the ledger, sell it, then the next person use it technically is using a compromised authentic ledger if bought from a third party? Okay.
That's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the question. You understand it?
Yeah, I think so. So I think what you're asking is, so basically, are you asking if someone can set up a ledger and know the recovery phrase because they set it up?
Right.
First off, it's important to remember that once a nano is set up with a recovery phrase, it's not possible to view the recovery phrase anymore inside the nano.
Right.
Not even the owner of the nano. There's no option available in the nano to view recovery phrase. It is locked tight in the secure element, and it's inaccessible even to the user. And so that's why it's so important to have a copy written down of your recovery phrase. But if someone were to, there's actually a scam that we had, not a whole lot of because it's kind of a more obvious one, but it did catch some people, some newer users. And basically the way it worked was scammers would intercept Ledger Nanos that were being shipped to people. They'd set them up with a recovery phrase, and then they'd write down the recovery phrase for them
Inside a sheet.
Yeah, inside a sheet, and include that in the package and say, hey, here's your recovery phrase, and your Nano's already set up. Here's your PIN. And then they try to trick users into using that recovery phrase that is, we have a...
You have a sheet?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so this sheet right here.
Yeah, the recovery phrase sheet. So it would basically come with those pre-filled out. And so that's like the biggest red flag. If a Nano's ever, we haven't seen this in a long time. It kind of died off. It wasn't a very viable scam, but we have seen it. And so that means that there were or possibly are people out there trying to pull this off. So that would be like the main concern is like if you got a Nano that already had a recovery phrase, never ever use that because you don't know who else saw that recovery phrase. Your recovery phrase should only be generated for you directly on the screen of your Nano, which comes directly from the secure element. And then that's the only time it's visible. After that, it's locked away. So for someone to be able to pull that off, they would have to set it up with a recovery phrase and then trick the person into using that Nano already set up.
Right.
So they would have to also give that person the PIN code to unlock that Nano. So it'd be pretty hard. It'd be pretty hard to pull that off.
Yeah. In that case, you're kind of like tricking your friend or somebody that you know or something like that. So
yeah,
I think that's definitely a rare case. I would say for sure.
definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Nature Boy. Okay, is that like Ric Flair? Okay, Nature Boy's question is: does every Ledger device generate a random recovery phrase, or does your Ledger come with an exclusive recovery phrase? Okay, so that's a great question.
Yeah.
To answer that question, the answer is yes. It generates a random recovery phrase every single time. So if your personal Ledger device right now, if you were to factory reset it and set it up with a new recovery phrase, you would get a completely different 24-word recovery phrase. Do you want to actually explain in depth like how that actually works if you know?
For sure, yeah. So basically, so all recovery phrases come from what's known as the BIP 39 word list. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you guys here because it's super interesting. I like the GitHub better.
All right.
So right here, this is where all recovered phrases come from. This is the birthplace, right? Well, not technically the birthplace,
Right.
but this is the copy of where recovery phrases are pulled from.
And there's over 2,048 words, correct?
Yeah, there's 2,048 total, yeah. So basically, your Ledger device has this BIP39 word list incorporated in the software, and it's got a randomizer that randomly selects words from this list every time it generates a seed phrase. And so it will never generate the same seed phrase twice. You can do it a million times, a billion times, and it will always generate a different seed phrase every single time.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
We did that one.
Yeah, but he's asking. So Leonardo is asking a follow-up question. Can I swap all my ETH to STETH, or do I have to save some ETH for paying fees when I swap back to STETH? Definitely always leave some ETH in your account to pay for network transaction fees. It's definitely a good practice to get into. If you notice my account here in Ledger Live, I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, and for reference, I would say leave about $30 worth, because fees on Ethereum can get quite expensive. So you don't want to I think there's moments where I've had like $15 or something like that, and a transaction fee was actually like $20, so I had to send some more money over it. Yeah. So just to avoid that, definitely leave at least $30 worth. As you can see, Tim actually has about $55 worth of ETH. So.
Yep. And so I just basically use it to manage a few tokens, and I only use this account to show people on streams and stuff. But yeah, so ideally you want to always have a decent balance of ETH to be able to handle all your transactions. And the same is true for all other blockchains. On Polygon here, you would definitely want to keep some Matic in your account. Binance Smart Chain, you want to keep some BSC in your account, or BNB. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that, Timothy Harris. Yeah. Sweet! Win-win time. Nice. Awesome. And it shows an XL amount I sent yesterday that did not show up. Ah, sweet. So it looks like you're having a synchronization error as well. Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of times if you're on older versions of Ledger Live, certain accounts won't display the correct balance, or the account won't show at all, just because Ledger Live isn't synchronized with the blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Hobby time with Chris. Awesome. Appreciate the help on that.
So game to earn 01, the new firmware, their question is the new firmware update 2.2.2, does that firmware have recover feature? So it is capable of Ledger Recover. However, Ledger Recover isn't out yet. And just to keep in mind that it's a subscription-based model, so you would actually have to opt into it in order to have that feature available to you.
Yeah, so we don't. It's not out yet, so we can't show you the flow for it yet in Ledger Live. But basically, when going through the testing, each part of the process actually has to get physically approved on the Nano. So without the user's consent, it's literally impossible for Ledger Recover to activate, or for it to do for it to perform any functions at all. It requires a direct authorization from the user at each stage of the process, and there's a bunch of different stages that you have to go through when setting it up. I won't go into more detail on it, but yeah, just know it is totally opt-in, even though it is included in this firmware update.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Zoltan Extreme is asking, is Ledger Live going to support Base? So the answer to that question is we don't know. However, we try our best to support as many coins and tokens in the future as possible. So right now I would say we don't know, but I feel as though we're definitely going to try to support something as Base, being as though that is it was developed by Coinbase as an EVM. So.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So basically, just like Garrett said, we want to support everything. That's definitely the goal of Ledger, is to be a one-stop shop, where you can do all your crypto stuff. It's very much a work in progress. We understand. But that's why we open sourced our Nano app process. And so actually, if you go to, I'll go ahead and just drop this here for you guys so you can check it out in case you're interested in this process a little bit more. Developers.ledger.com. And then, so right here, if you go to embedded app, this is the first part of the process. And it explains what the Nano apps are and then how to get started on building them. So you can go through here. You can get all the, as a coder, you can get all the information you need to start building it. And then you can reach out to our team on Discord, our developer team, and then you can submit it to them and work with them to get it published to Ledger Live. So basically, since Base is a very prominent blockchain, we will most likely have support for that. But just in case you're curious, this is the process. How to build a Nano. Yeah, definitely an interesting read for sure.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so Keefy Boy has a question. If I have a passphrase that will call PP1 attached to pin and use a temporary passphrase that will call PP2, will the pin still be attached to PP1? Will it still work and not get erased by the use of temporary PP2? So the answer to that question is no, PP2 will not still work. Well, PP1 will not still work. If you're creating a passphrase account and you select a pin code and then you go to create another passphrase account, you're gonna delete the previous passphrase account. So so for that situation, I would just recommend only creating one passphrase account per recovery phrase. Otherwise, you're just gonna get into like a lot of complicated situations trying to look for an account that's really at that point is not going to be accessible if you do that.
Yeah, and you can put your, so you can technically create as many passphrases as you want, like Eric was saying, but it can get real confusing real quick, which is why the Nano is set up that way to only allow one at a time, just to make things like easy, because it's already considered an advanced feature,
right?
And it's very easy to make a mistake because with passphrases, it can be up to 120 characters in length. It could be a phrase or a single word. You can use special characters. It's case sensitive, whereas recovery phrases are not case sensitive. So it adds much more complexity to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Nature Boy.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Okay, Leonardo has a question about Solana staking. Are the rewards in Solana? If so, will I have two separate amounts? One with the delegated tokens and the other with tokens I didn't stake plus the rewards. Okay, so if I'm understanding this question, you kind of just want to understand how the rewards are given out in Solana and where they're allocated. And to answer your question, so based in Ledger Live, you'll see that you have like your available balance, your stake balance, as well as your rewards for Solana, and then you'll as you're receiving your rewards for Sol, you'll have to withdraw the Sol. And then that withdrawal Sol will go into your available balance. And then if you choose to stake again, you can stake again with in Ledger Live, which is Solana account.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nice. Am I missing anything with that one?
I think so. I think you covered it pretty well. All right. Art Dr. Bo is asking, for how long will the Nano S be in service? Is the software still getting updated? So the Nano S software is no longer being updated. It will eventually be phased out. However, it will take a very long time for that. The current firmware version 2.1.0 will still continue to work for quite a while. Eventually, though, it will get to a point where it has trouble communicating with Ledger Live, very similar to the Ledger Blue back in the day, if you're familiar with that product. And so, yeah, so if you ever get to that point, reach out to us and we'll help you out in any way. But yeah, it'll be quite a while before that happens.
Okay, Timothy Harris, you have another question. He says, I want to get the X Ledger Stacks X or Nano X. Sorry, I want to get the Nano X or Stacks because I want to be able to use it on my iPhone, Bluetooth, or computer to connect it. It should work. The answer to that question is yes. The Nano X and Ledger Stacks are both able to connect to computer, and there's Bluetooth as well with iPhone. So you'll definitely work in either scenario.
Yeah, Leonardo, no worries. That's why we do this. Drop your questions if you have questions. We'll answer as many as we can in our allotted time, and we're happy to do that. Thanks, Hobby Time. Dang. Okay. So Game to Earn says, I want multi-sig, something like Safe Wallet. Will Ledger have that feature? Basically, I want to share account with my business partner. Okay, so this is actually really interesting. There are a couple options already available. So the biggest one, because you mentioned your business partner, Ledger Vault. So we have the Ledger Enterprise service. So depending on what kind of setup you want, our Ledger Enterprise Services offers a full multi-sig support for businesses, and it's really cool how it works. It's like all color coded based on like who has authorization, and you can basically distribute out nanos around the organization, and it takes certain people to sign certain types of transactions, and it's pretty complex. But we have a fantastic team for the Ledger Enterprise, so I would say look into Ledger Enterprise Solutions first. And see if they can offer what you're looking for, see if that's a good solution for you. But one other multi-sig solution that I do know about is Gnosis Safe. And this is just for Ethereum, but I can kind of show you what that looks like here. Actually, they rebranded. It's not Gnosis Safe anymore. It is, it's just Safe. Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah, Safe Global. So you did mention, let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so you did mention Safe Wallet, so you may already be aware of this. But like the Ledger. So in case you're not aware of this, you can create your wallet right here. You can link your wallet right to this, and you can set up multi-sig functions for Ethereum and for EVM. However, if you're talking about managing like Bitcoin or some other thing like that, then Ledger Enterprise Solutions may be a cool thing for you to look into. And let me just pull up the website for you. Enterprise.ledger.com. Cool. So this is where you're going to want to go for that. Enterprise.ledger.com. I'm going to call this multi-sig enterprise solution. There you go. Yeah, get that a check out. Let us know what you think.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. So I guess that maybe is a thing. I haven't really looked into that too much.
It shouldn't. It's possible.
Yeah.
I literally just worked on a case with that. I was reading through the article.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that when I did it, it definitely cleared mine when I was playing with it.
Yeah, it shouldn't be possible, but who knows what may have happened. It depends on what happened in that scenario.
Yeah.
As far as we're speaking on the passphrase incident.
Oh yeah, passphrase.
Can you guys do that ASAP, please? I'm tired of using Zeron.
Yeah. Let's see. So what were we talking about? Were we talking about token support and stuff?
Yeah, I believe that one is referring to Base, I believe.
Oh,
probably.
yeah. Yep.
I believe Base.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Game to Earn has another question. If someone steals Ledger Nano X device and says he knows the PIN but not seed phrase, can he steal my funds? Does he need the Ledger Live on my PC? Okay, so the answer to that question is yes, depending on the scenario, right? If the Ledger device is updated, the firmware is updated and does not need an update, right? And then if they actually do know your PIN code as well, and they're able to access your PIN code with your Ledger device already loaded with your 24-word recovery phrase, yes, they can simply install Ledger Live on their own computer. They can connect their Ledger device and connect to it. And then from there, they would just add the crypto accounts, and then they would be able to essentially transfer all the crypto assets out of the accounts by signing and confirming with your personal Ledger device. And that scenario is if they know your PIN code in that scenario. So yes.
But if they don't know your PIN code, it wouldn't be possible.
Right, at all.
So yeah, definitely, I always recommend to keep your PIN code if you have it written down. Keep it away from your Nano. That way they're not in the same spot.
Right.
Because if someone just steals your Nano, it's really not a big.
No, at all.
Well, it's a big deal because you're out, you know,
Right.
$150 if you buy a Nano X, which sucks. But at least they can't steal your crypto.
Right, which is way worse.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Timothy, you're asking, would you let us know what is the most current version, please? I'm assuming if you're talking about Ledger Live, if you have 2.64.2, that is the most current version.
Yep.
If you're speaking of the Nano S Plus firmware, I believe that's the 2.
I believe it is. Show you guys.
Oh, you have the Nano. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
right.
Should be good.
All right.
Okay, cool. 1.1.0. Yep.
Oh, I was thinking of Nano S.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Yep. 1.1. Yeah, the Nano S is 2.1. It's very,
Yeah.
very confusing.
Right.
All these different numbers you have to memorize. All right.
Okay. Electronics. Carefully. More question.
Yeah.
Right on time.
Yeah. And yeah, we're pretty much right on time. Real quick, Voltronics, I'm very sorry that happened to you. You know, like it's definitely a very unfortunate situation. However, the only way that, especially because you mentioned XRP and XLM, because they're two different blockchains, the only way that could have happened is if someone gained access to your recovery frame. And I know that that's like, you're probably like, Tim, you're full of crap. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I totally understand that. There's a lot of really sneaky ways that people can gain access to it. And it's not always very apparent how it was done. But I will tell you that in 100% of the cases I've dealt with, which I deal with cases every day involving stolen funds, it's always elite recovery frames. It's just the Ledger devices can't be hacked.
Yeah. Always an unfortunate situation, honestly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's definitely always from an exposed recovery phrase.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we're pretty much it. So I'm getting fish for a while. Getting fish, but so far my fun. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of phishing attempts on you if you're in crypto, and like your information gets out there, like that you're into crypto, like you're gonna get phishing attempts. Like it's my Discord inbox is full of scammers. Like I can't even use my Discord inbox anymore, to be honest.
I've turned my inbox off.
Yeah.
For Discord.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's just an unfortunate thing that's happening right now, and hopefully things get cleaned up in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, on that, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it.
Yeah, it was a great session.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for having us. I mean, thanks for coming out and viewing the live stream.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Close out with your your closing statement, how you usually go.
I don't really have a formal outro.
Okay,
but
cool.
I usually say something like, thanks everyone for stopping by. I had a lot of fun, which is true. I always have a lot of fun doing these AMAs. And I hope that we helped you guys. I hope that we were able to provide some assistance for some of the issues that you're dealing with. If we didn't get to your question, or if you do still have questions, definitely come check out our other support AMAs. We host quite a few of them. I'll go ahead and drop the link right here to our schedule. Oop. Actually, I think it's probably here. Support stuff, social media schedule. So this right here is our social media schedule. So definitely pop into our other live streams, our European team. They are absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't checked out their live stream, they do a very, very good job. And they can probably help you with things that, maybe we don't have as much experience with, or vice versa. So definitely I recommend checking out all the different agents that do these. And yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody, stay safe out there.